Hi, Middle Grove parents. We are really happy that you've joined us today. We know it takes a lot out of your schedule, and it's a big commitment to join us. But we have some really important information that we want to share with you, and we think that we'll be done in less than an hour.
So parents are always great at helping their students at home, and we want to make sure that you are allowing your child the opportunity to show us what they have learned. It's important for students to completely grasp concepts rather than just quickly submitting an assignment. So we are evaluating all your students' work against state standards, and it's very important that students turn in their very best work in a timely manner. But as educators, we do expect to see some mistakes. That helps inform our further instruction and further lessons. So the three of us are the Middle Grove ELA teachers. I am Miss Peterson. I teach 3rd grade ELA.
I'm Miss Hope. I teach 4th and 5th ELA.
I'm Mrs. Thornock. I teach 4th and 5th ELA.
So the expected amount of time for students to be logged into Zoom on a daily basis for direct instruction for ELA is 30 to 40 minutes. While students are allowed to log off after that time, it's really important that they are still completing their assignments through Google Classroom. This time may fluctuate based on the lesson, based on student needs. So that means that it could be longer or shorter, just depending on the lesson in the day.
Students will also be expected to be on all block, and it's basically reading, writing, and foundational skill practice done through small group instruction. After students log off from their small group instruction, they'll have a Google Classroom assignment, and at that point, if your student is an online student, they will be able to log off and work on that Google Classroom assignment at that point.
Hi guys, we are your Middle Grove Math and Science teachers. My name is Miss Milder and I teach 3rd graders. Mrs. Guzzetti teaches 4th grade math and Mrs. Doggs teaches 5th grade math. Both Mrs. Guzzetti and Miss Doggs teach science to 4th and 5th grade as well. 3rd grade math students are expected to attend Zoom meetings for the first 30 minutes of direct instruction. Once students are released, they will complete an assignment on Google Classroom. We will continue to solidify past concepts like adding and subtracting while introducing new concepts like multiplying and dividing numbers within 100. We will also explore measurement, reading a clock, and finding the area of objects as well.
So in 4th and 5th grade math, students are expected to attend their Zoom meeting for the first 35 to 40 minutes. Once the students have been released by their teacher, they'll complete an assignment on Google Classroom. This is a time where your students can choose. They can stay on the Zoom meeting and get further instruction and have answers to their questions, or they can log off the Zoom meeting and then they can work independently. Some of the things that I love about 4th grade math this year is that I always say that it's the math that students use for the rest of their lives. We learn how to multiply big numbers, how to divide big numbers. We also learn how to add and subtract fractions, which is such a great life skill. We learn how to find area and perimeter and how to measure angles, and we began working with decimals. So just like we use.
And moving that a step further, in 5th grade math, we do lots with decimals. We build on tons of fraction things. We add, subtract, multiply, and divide with fractions and decimals. And we move back and forth between fractions and decimals. We're measuring and we're rounding those decimals and fractions. And we also get into order of operations and equations.
3rd grade science students are expected to attend a Zoom meeting for the first 30 minutes for direct instruction. Once they're released, they will complete an assignment or exit ticket on Google Classroom.
So 4th and 5th grade science is very collaborative. Students should attend the Zoom meeting for at least the first 25 minutes of instruction. Students will then have the option to participate with the science kit parents pick up from the school, or they can watch their partners in the classroom as they explore science concepts, giving feedback and sharing ideas.
Oftentimes, science and ELA are going to cover similar topics, just to help the students gain a deeper understanding of that content knowledge. Some of the exciting subjects that we are covering this year in third grade ELA, we are going to be talking about overcoming learning challenges near and far. That's a focus on education around the world. We will be talking about frogs and their adaptations, and we will also be talking about water around the world.
In third grade science, we are currently in our first module where we talk about force and motion. Our second module will also be frogs and their adaptations, which is really neat because it goes hand in hand with ELA, so they're able to build on each other. And our third module is water around the world, which is the same thing that goes with ELA as well.
And fourth and fifth grade, we will be focusing on the fourth grade standards with helping to get the fifth graders where they need to be. So our topics this year will be, we're in poetry right now. We're reading Love That Dog, and the kids are really enjoying it. We'll move on to animal defense mechanisms and learn a little bit about animals and how they protect themselves. And then our last module will be the American Revolution.
And then in fourth grade science, we're using the brand new seed standards that have been put out by the state of Utah. So we're going to first learn about energy transfer, and then our second standard is the organisms functioning in their environments, and that goes hand in hand with the ELA education module, the EL education module. So we'll be doing a lot of science and ELA really hand in hand during that time period. And then we have wave patterns and patterns in the sky.
Okay, so at this time, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to turn the time over to Coach D.
She'll be telling us a little bit about our specials this year and how they work for Middle Grove.
Hey, it's all you.
All right. Can everybody hear me okay? Awesome. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible. If you guys have any questions, you can always email me, and I'll try my best to get back to you. So I'm going to be speaking on behalf of Coach G, that's G-E-E. She's our PE teacher. I'm also going to be speaking on Miss McKenna's behalf. She is our environmental education teacher. So, and then I'm Coach D, and I am teaching health and wellness. And within the three of us, we are teaching PE. On that note, your child has the same PE teacher for the entire year. Fortunately or unfortunately, they don't get to switch around, which would be nice. But it's nice to have them all year. So if they have me right now, they will be with me for the rest of the year. If they have Coach G and Miss McKenna, they'll be with them. However, they will be switching and receiving environmental education and health and wellness. And I'm sorry, I don't know off the top of my head how many weeks that is, but it's a good amount of weeks that we can establish in my class healthy habits and talking about self-care and compassion and of course mindfulness. So just really gaining those, and nutrition, and gaining those skills so that we are educating the whole child. It's extremely important, I feel, in this time as well, that we are focusing on that. And if you're struggling at all, please know that Mr. Du Bois and Ms. Karen, I'm available at any point if you need tools or someone just to sound off on. I really, and I believe the school and the director really want to emphasize mental health and wellness. So feel free to reach out. It's really hard for me to culminate my classes online. So if there's anything or you have any ideas on how I can interconnect with your kids online, please let me know. I'm working this out myself. So for health and wellness, of course, they'll get mindful movement, nutrition. I'm still trying to figure out how that's going to look online with my online kids, maybe just a shopping list or little kits of food. And then we're doing some gardening. We're harvesting right now. And the kids will hopefully come back and let you know that they've tried tomatoes and cantaloupes and all kinds of different stuff straight out of the garden. Coach G is teaching your core standard PE classes. So, you know, if you can hop on and the kids need some movement, which they need at least an hour of vigorous exercise every day, she's going to provide a calendar, and each day will have an activity or something that can be engaging for your student. So be on the lookout for that. We've held back on that a little bit just so you guys can get used to just your regular core classes, but be on the lookout for different links from health and wellness, environmental education, and PE. So that's what I can speak on for that. Let's see. With environmental education, we are talking about the 7 elements of Leave No Trace. We're working on creating projects in the back 7. If I can leave you with one thing, please make sure that your children are dressed appropriately when they come to school. No open-toe shoes, no dresses without pants underneath them, just because we are always outside. And as the weather changes, we're still going to be outside. We have shelter. We're creating some classroom spaces out in our back 7 acres. So please know that we will always be outside. If you need help with clothing or shoes or just some recommendations, please email me. I'm happy to help in any way, just so that they can be completely engaged and not miserable outside. We will be outside. There will not be any exceptions. So please, if I leave you with anything, just make sure when the rainy season comes, they're in rain jackets and boots. When the snow season comes, they're in snow clothes and have proper warm equipment, hats, beanies, gloves. It's essential to getting out of the computer zone and being outside with this whole thing going on. It's really important that they're dressed so that they can enjoy themselves. We're going to start the fun run. Pledging starts the 23rd of September, and then we're actually running October 1st and 2nd in PE. So this is our fundraiser that we missed last year, and our fundraisers are for our expeditions. And I know that's some of our kids, our students' favorite things to do. So anything we can do to raise money. I know it's hard times for a lot of us, but this really helps enhance and get the kids outside. So let us know if we can help in any way, figure that out, but you'll see some emails coming in about how that's all gonna roll out and how that's gonna work for online kids as well. Everybody will be involved. We're also looking at trying to do some family hikes again, so we can get you out to totally volunteer at your own risk. We're keeping it under 20 people, so hopefully you guys can join us. If anybody has any ideas for the backyard, or you have any expertise or materials that you want to donate, we're always looking for stumps and logs to sit on, and then anything else that might enhance that outside classroom. I think that is it. If anyone has any questions, I suppose you can email me, or really quickly, I suppose we could look at the chat. But just have your kids dressed appropriately and look at those links in classroom when they do start coming in for those self-care, mental health and wellness things that we need right now. So everybody take a nice deep breath in. Bye.
So thank you, Coach D. Just to add on to that, so our 4th and 5th graders have the awesome opportunity to be meeting with Miss Karen for social skills, and they will be on Zoom for that. So the whole class is being able to learn from Miss Karen and about those important skills that everyone needs to learn. We have a new program that's going to be starting to roll out in the next week called Clever, and this will help us with our ease of access into all of our online programs that kids are required to log into. So students will have a single QR code just attached to their ID that they can take a picture of, and it will automatically fill in the username and passwords for all the different sites. So look for that in the next couple weeks, and we're excited to get that started.
Let me just add on real quick to that. They each have their own ID card. Please make sure they don't lose them. Really, really important they don't lose them. They do need to be attached to their lanyards, is what I believe a lot of people have done. Those lanyards need to stay at school, because if they lose them, we do not have other ones for them to replace them with. Very important. And then we won't be able to use Clever, which is sad. We're finally a little bit more used to doing this strange hybrid learning that we're all kind of adapting to. We're going to be reevaluating schedules and student performance every 4 weeks, with the next time frame commencing at the end of September. So we are asking that parents do not request schedule changes until that time, just to make it easy on everyone.
So we really appreciate the time that you've taken out of your day to join us. We are looking forward to working with your students this year. Please check your students' Google Classroom every day, and also check your email every day. That's where you're going to find regular announcements and links to to all the daily Zoom meetings and assignments. If you have any further questions, we want you to reach out to us. So you can reach us during our office hours on Wednesdays, and then you can also just send us an email and we will answer them as soon as possible. Thanks for joining us. We love your kids. Thanks for sharing them with us.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.